Hey, it's Jake Gagne. Thanks for watching MotoAmerica on YouTube. Be sure to like and subscribe. Keep tuning in.
When those red lights go off, we're rolling. Here we go. To turn one we go. Who's going to get the whole shot? Ty Scott on that Vision Wheel M4 X-Star Suzuki. Got a great launch, and he's going to peel his way into turn number one. Mesa trying to go around the outside on the Tytler Cycle Kawasaki, and Gilbert right in between those two as they head up to turn two.
Looks like Mesa's going to lead the way through those S's, as you say, Greg. Josh Hayes slots himself in there. Ty Scott, Xavi Flores, looks like Nassani in there as well. So Jarrett got a nice little start there in fifth. He had problems yesterday also, so Nassani's looking to get and stay up in the front. Gilbert back there and Teague Hobbs. So little tiny bit different look. I believe Flores was leading at this point yesterday. Today he's fourth. We have a mix up there. It looks like one of the bikes looks like Mallory Dobbs.
It does. There was a crash at the top of the hill. That was the last two riders in the field, and they had a little bit of a collision. I could see in the back at the top of the hill, and they just tipped over. So hopefully our crew will get that cleaned up before these riders make their way to turn two. Mesa onto the back straightaway for the first time, has a look over his shoulder, sees Squid Hunter, number 4, Josh Hayes, right behind him. And here comes Ty Scott on that GSXR 750, the next generation motorcycle. He'll go around, and there's Xavi Flores, who's hanging right there on that Ducati, who was absolutely insane on the brakes in 10A and down at the bottom of turn 12 yesterday.
He actually showed some good patience there. I think that the guy in front of him was the one he mentioned yesterday that felt like, I think he thought if Josh could get away through the Z section, it was going to be a problem. So maybe Forrest showing a little bit of patience there. He probably feels like this group's all going to close back up at the front anyways. So Mesa, though, with a flyer of a first lap.
So although on the screen it looks for the moment that things are starting to break apart, just like that, Vision Wheel M4 X-Star Suzuki's Ty Scott.
And I talked to Ty a little bit earlier today, and he said that they were trying to work on some of the performance of the bike under heavy braking. It's really made that big a difference. You can see his foot fall off the peg here on the right-hand side as he probably goes to make a change of body position. Sometimes if you get your foot on the end of the foot peg, it can kind of fall off. They're just getting away from him a little bit early here, and he doesn't really have anybody to go with. And these three guys up in front, up until now, haven't really fired shots at each other as Forrest slides up the inside of Mesa. He probably sees the same thing Ty Scott doing right now.
Panigale V2 of Xavi Flores. The biggest change for them was adding a little bit of stiffer spring to the rear end of the motorcycle, as he felt that the V2 was going a little bit sideways. But 28.8 on that lap for Flores, fastest lap of the race again.
Jason, those changes that Greg mentioned they made to Xavi Flores' Ducati, when I spoke with him, he said he definitely helped him improve in the first sector after those changes, and he was, as a whole, it looks like he just made a pass for the lead as well.
Yep.
He said he was much more relaxed, and it's showing right now, especially in how easy he made that pass look.
There was no real urgency as he saw Ty Scott start to go away. You didn't see anything crazy coming out of Flores. He just chipped away at it, as now the Vision Wheel M4 X-Star Suzuki just uses the draft and pass maneuver to take the lead for the moment. Here comes Flores. Is he going to use that? Yep, up the inside he goes. Is he going to be able to make it stick? He does. Nice clean transition from 10A to 10B.
Josh Hayes is going to keep his head down. He's probably gone through that emotion of these guys are getting away from me to now these guys are coming back to me. And Ty Scott, I know what Ty Scott wants to do. He wants to prove to himself that he can beat Xavi Flores into turn 10 with any adjustments that they made last night.
Supersport race number 2 at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. Xavi Flores on the Warhorse HSBK Racing Ducati Panigale V2 leads the way for the moment. There goes Ty Scott on the Vision Wheel M4 X-Star Suzuki. He'll take over the spot, and he goes deep into turn 10. And then Tytler Cycles Kawasaki of Stefano Mesa just ahead of Squid Hunter Yamaha R6 rider Josh Hayes. Michael Gilbert remains in 5th as Flores goes up the inside and makes that pass. Now Ty Scott knows, whoop, can't leave that door open too wide.
But this is experience again in World Superbike or World Supersport, whatever.
The fact that when you race endurance, one of the things you learn is how to judge other riders when you come up to them to lap them, like lap traffic.
Making a plan, making a decision. When you start to see them, you're already starting to anticipate. He's going to get into turn 10, probably loses the front, still trail braking in.
That was a little wide.
Yeah, he was a little bit wide. Overnight, he's 29-2 still. The battle for second is now raging, as now Josh Hayes looks like he's going to try to take to the front of that group. And we'll see if Josh can get his head down. If he can get to turn 1 without anybody going by him, Hayes might be able to make a little inroads down through the S's. That's what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, we know what he's able to do behind him, which isn't much unless he clicks in 5th gear. But these two, Mesa's trying to go around, so he will take over 3rd spot for the moment.
Josh definitely closed down on Flores a little bit here, so it's going to be interesting to see. You can definitely tell. Got a blue flag out. That guy does a really nice job getting over to the left or to the right. Lets Flores through. 29.2 to 29.0. Mesa goes 28.9. It's 1.2 last lap. I don't think they're going to quite get there, G-Dub.
And their best laps of the race, Jason, with 1 lap to go, shows you how good these Dunlops are and how much they're enjoying this 108 degree Fahrenheit track temperature. So final lap, Xavi Flores has done an absolutely perfect job so far. Hayes pushing as hard as he can, going for that all-time win record across all classes is Hayes. He's tied with Miguel Duhamel at 86. He's trying to go for 87. It's a long way to go on this last lap, but he's put some distance between himself and Mesa. They're going through turn 6, now turn 7. Hayes with a bit of a bobble, he's okay. But like Jason talked about, he's got to get 2nd gear through here, then he's going to click 3rd, 4th, and it's not until Hayes gets the 5th gear where he feels like that bike starts to roll.
And you don't see Josh look back very often, but he did there, and this time Mesa's going to not be as nice when they get down to turn 10. He's going to position himself on the left.
Wow.
He's going to go right by Josh. Josh will cross back over and have a go at him when they get down to the bottom. But Mesa's pretty good on the brakes there himself. Really nice work from Mesa. Now Josh got to be a little bit protective because Ty Scott's right behind him and will also try to make a charge as they come up over the top of the hill.
Here comes Xavi Flores, his 2nd race in MotoAmerica. His 2nd Supersport race, has a look over his shoulder. He's all alone to the checkered flag and wins 2 in a row. And how about these riders? It's going to be Mesa in 2nd, Hayes in 3rd, and Ty Scott wrapping up 4th place.